Alright, well, I'm trying to think what I think of this hand. 5 spells is pretty spell heavy, but we've got a Feat and a Mardu Skull Hunter. I have to presume we're on the draw. I think I'm going to keep it. I'm not super happy uh, that I don't have an earlier creature to really maximize the raid value, but I still think this hand's probably worth keeping. Feat of Resistance is a nice trick to have alongside the Skull Hunter, and at least we can do something on turn 2, so we've got that going for us. It's actually kind of nice. So I could wait here on the Skull Hunter until after I got the Mardu charm down, but I don't think it's worth it. I think we apply pressure now. We've got double Warrior Lord in our deck, so that Skull Hunter could get some good damage in. And even if he plays a Morph guy here, you just want to attack it. They always play Morph on turn 3. That's what turn 3 is. It's no illusions anymore. We could blow out that Morph guy if we assume it's a 5 costing Morph spell, that is. Because we can just... I think I need to go for the Warrior tokens rather than deal 4 damage to that, especially if he attacks with the Morph guy. I think we're just going to hope it's not a Sidisi's Ape. Could be a Sidisi's Ape. We saw a couple of them. Didn't attack. No, that's interesting. That kind of tells me he predicted Mardu Charm. Guess we kill the Morph guy then. It was Sidisi's pet, so I don't know why he didn't attack then. He could have blown us out pretty bad. It's actually a pretty nice draw. I think that draw actually makes me want to play a land rather than a tapped land. So let's do that. That way we can deal with most fatties here. Yeah, alright. Probably not worth smiting most of the time, but in this case, since we're aggressive and that thing gains life, I say we go for it. He's got 3 cards left in hand. Unfortunately, we pretty much only are going to have 1 card in hand after this because just got a bunch of lands. Alright, that's actually a pretty reasonable draw since it's a warrior and it keeps us busy if we can't draw any action. The Skull Hunter has already done its job, so I'm pretty happy about that, considering we didn't get the raid value off of it. It still lends a lot of credence to my theory that just 2-drop beaters are pretty awesome in this format. Hmm. Alright. Guess we swing with the Skull Hunter. Outlast, which means he's going to get a morph. Hopefully it's not the lifelinker, but there's not much I can do about it. Yeah, it's probably the lifelinker. Well, maybe not. You know, it's probably the... Okay, if he doesn't play anything, then it's likely the... Okay, I was going to say the green guy that untaps when you unmorph it, but perhaps that's not what it is. Oh, okay. Just got some more mana here. Jeez, War Shrieker too. It's a lot of ramping. And that guy, huh? Guy's pretty tough. Hopefully we got a removal spell here. Yeah, there's our Lord. Unfortunately, it's not quite do enough here because of that ivory tusk thing. Alright, let's just drop a Chief of the Edge. We'll play a land and we'll Outlast and we'll pass. Why did I tap all my white sources? I do not know. Should not have tapped all my white sources because I have a Feat of Resistance in hand. That's a good draw. So now we can leave the Ancestor back to block as well as play the High Sentinels. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll play our land. I could swing here. I am kind of feeling like a Dragon Scale Boon or something like that. Even though we can Feat of Resistance to protect that, I think we're in better shape just dropping this guy that he has to deal with and then leaving up the Feat of Resistance to protect it. It's currently a 4-5, which is pretty nice. So I'm just going to leave up Feat and pass, block with our Disowned Ancestor for the Fortress. And yeah, that's about it. We're going to try and beat down with this High Sentinels. I could attack here. I feel like it feels likely that there's a trick. I mean, I could just throw my Mardu Skull Hunter into the mix, but then he probably trades with the Rattleclaw Mystic. Well, maybe it's worth it. Let's just swing with the Skull Hunter only. I'm going to leave back the... Because if he has Dragon Scale Boon... Well, I guess he's getting past my Ancestor anyway. I guess Dragon Scale Boon is probably what it is. Let's play the patient game. I feel like I'm ahead on the board here. It really is like up to him to change his board state. And the Feat, I think, is a nice position. It's going to protect us, protect our High Sentinels at the very least. Yeah, so we'll protect our dude. Hopefully he doesn't have another removal spell. So I guess I should have attacked there. Yeah. I think that's a pretty easy block. It's got kill shot mana up, but I can't protect against that any longer. Alright, morph guy. Canyon Lurkers is actually a thing. So I could morph that as well as pump something. I think we just morph this. And Kraken with Skull Hunter and High Sentinels. And my plan is to pump the Canyon Lurkers, since I presume he's going to block the Skull Hunter. And then when I pump this with the High Sentinels, I'll deal 6 to him, which definitely brings him in lethal range the next turn. Alright. So we'll pump this guy. Which in turn I thought pumps this guy. Wait, shouldn't he have 2 +1/+1 counters on him? Oh, he does. Why do I only see 1? Oh, he just... Never mind. It's not +1/+1 counter. It just gets +1/+1. Okay. I got it. So plan is blocking elephant. Morph guy's going to get through, but even if it's the lifelinker, I don't think we're in that bad a shape. Alright, so he is swinging with the morph guy, but I think what we do is block there. If this is lifelinker, he has to flip it, and then we can crack back for... I can put 2 +1/+1 counters. I don't think he can kill me with these 2. I don't think he can, but I guess we'll find out. If he unmorphs this to get lifelink, I still think we win. Yeah, I think we still beat him here. We do take a lot of damage, however, but I still think we win. Yeah. Even without the unmorph reveal, we still got this. Alright, cool. So, playing against Abzan, you know, he's got some lifelink dudes. Our Smite the Monstrous is pretty awesome in this match. He's got Sidisi's pet too, which is just going to be good against us, but that's alright. Do we have a sideboard against this fellow? Theoretically, Swift Kick, but Bring Low as well are some options. Is there anything that's bad against him? I don't think so. Everything seems pretty good against him. So let's just keep it the same, I think, and try this again. Yeah, this is a great hand. We get to do Chief of the Edge into Skull Hunter for value, which is actually pretty good. And now we can do Seeker instead because, and the reason I think I want to do that is Seeker is more tricky to block, especially since, you know, once again, he's almost guaranteed to play a turn 3 morph guy. So, well, it's alright. I'll still do the Seeker into the Skull Hunter on that one, I think. And now I've got Debilitating Injury too, so it's actually perfect. We can do Seeker, we can Debilitating Injury, his Hate Blade if he leaves it back. Um, yeah. So next turn, Skull Hunter for value, ideally. Let's see if he plays a Morph guy here. If he does, I can just injure it and get in. And then I guess I can't play the Skull Hunter, though. But I could do the Chief of the Edge as well. It's pretty good. All right, so options. Guess I can just swing with Seeker, play Skull Hunter, pass. He likely can't unmorph that next turn. Plus it sets me up for a better Chief of the Edge. Yeah, let's do that. See if he's willing to see if I have no... He knows about Feat of Resistance already, so okay. Yeah, I would have been surprised, I guess, if he did block that. Let's do the Skull Hunter now. Get some nice value on that. Make our opponent discard, which is good. Even if it's a land, I like the setting him back. In a 3-color deck that morphs at 5, typically, I would say making your opponent discard. And the fact that he's actually tanking on this decision makes me, tells me pretty clearly that he's got a tough decision. All right, burn away. That's a great addition that Skull Hunter just did there, I would say. So ideally that's not Sidisi's pet, I guess, and I can debilitating injury it, but I guess we'll find out. All right, Bitter Revelation's actually pretty good for us here, since we know he can't unmorph now, unless this is one of those reveal ones, but even if it is, those trade with either of my guys. So now I can kind of do Chief of the Edge if I want, or... Alright, well, likely not the Sidisi's pet, unless he got multiples. No attacks, which is also interesting. So I guess next turn he can unmorph this, so yeah, I think we're just going to go for the nice assault here. We're going to kill this guy, pump our dude, get some lifelink going. And then we're going to... And it was a Ponyback Brigade. Yeah, pretty happy I got rid of that. I guess he didn't have his red source, but still pretty happy I got rid of that. So now I guess we're going to let him trade a Hate Blade for a Skull Hunter, but I don't think that's a big deal. It's better than... He's basically trading his one guy that can take care of our other guys with his... He's getting rid of our worst guy that already got rid of a card in his hand. And we're getting rid of a Death Touch guy that could deal with our other 2 guys on board, so I think it's worth it. Don't have a red source yet for our Instigator, but he can still be morphed down, which is good. Alright, took care of that threat. Another morph guy, I'm guessing. Oh, no, okay. So delve, let's see which one it is. Alright, it's a pretty good one. I could go for the fake out, but I'm not going to. I think we'll just get our morph guy down, get our bondkin, and then we'll pass. We can start to outlast next turn if that becomes a thing. And then if we draw a Feat of Resistance, we suddenly have a nice combat trick. If we draw a red source, we've got an active treason effect. So I'd say we're sitting pretty good. There's quite a few draws we could get that are, I would say, pretty beneficial here for us. A red source, a removal spell. Alright, War Shrieker. Just the value of War Shrieker. Okay, so now we have active treason, which is pretty nice, but I think, unfortunately, well, actually, I guess that's debatable, isn't it? So I could unmorph now, active treason, but That does pump this. I think we need a little more setup time, so I'm just not quite ready yet to attack, because even if we steal a guy, I can't really get in with my 2/2s. So I need that first strike dude, really. So I think we wait. Also, I can't trigger the prowess off of my act of treason effect, so I guess that makes sense. Just sort of waiting, biding our time until, yeah. Alright. Well, now we're going to active treason for sure. And, wow, the feat of resistance here is absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to definitely gank his War Shrieker, and we've got lethal at this point. Actually, we're one short, aren't we? I'm not going to go for lethal because if he's got a removal spell... Jeez. I could do it. I could feat of resistance here. I think I feat of resistance my instigator. That way, if he kills the instigator, this still gets prowessed and life-linked, and I still get in for 9. Otherwise, theoretically, I can just leave it up. I'm going to make him target my instigator. Alright, got the match. So that's sweet. Worked out well. Pretty happy with how aggressive we can actually get with the double Chief of the Edge. Alright, we'll see you for round 2.